I will now call the May 2nd, 2022 Blue Springs City Council meeting to order. If you would stand with me, observe a moment of silence, and I will lead you in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated. I want to welcome all four of you that are not staff to tonight's meeting, as well as those that might be watching on cable TV. Confirmation of a quorum, please.
Councilmember Kaler.
Present.
Levacy.
Here.
Fowler.
Present.
Erickson.
Present.
Edmondson.
Here.
Culpepper.
Present.
Mayor Ross.
Present.
Everyone is in attendance.
Okay, next we have the consent agenda. Unless there are items that need to be pulled, I accept the motion for approval.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Kaler.
Aye.
Levacy.
Aye.
Fowler.
Aye.
Edmondson. Or, I'm
Aye.
sorry, Erickson. I apologize.
Aye.
Edmondson.
Aye.
Culpepper.
Aye.
Mayor Ross.
Aye.
Carried unanimously.
Next, we have a public hearing on a Frisbee Monument Blue Springs rezoning.
Mayor, the city has one exhibit to enter into the record. City Council information form dated April 26, 2022 with the following attachments. Staff report with attachments, application with attachments, affidavit of publication in the Examiner on April 9, 2022, 185-foot notification map, names and addresses of property owners within 185 feet of the site, copy of letter sent to said property owners, Title IV Land Use Section Blue Springs Code of Ordinances by reference, 2014 Comprehensive Plan by reference, and bill approving the rezoning. This is all we have to offer for the record.
All right, Mike.
Good evening, members of City Council. This is a rezoning request for Frisbee Monument signs, which is located at 2501 Southwest 40 Highway, generally located at the northeast corner of 40 Highway and Cemetery Road. Property here shown on the aerial is surrounded by the black and white dashed line. And here it is on the zoning map. The property is zoned general business with a planned unit development on it. The proposed rezoning is to light industrial with a planned unit development. The existing planned unit development was approved in 1986 to allow shared access and parking between the surrounding property, which is also more of an industrial nature, to allow for the shared parking to serve all of the developments and shared parking and access. This rezoning request stems from the property owner's desire to make their existing land use, which is the Frisbee Monument sign business. As you drive down 40 Highway, they have a lot of the headstones and monuments outside, to allow for that to be permitted land use, as well as to introduce some light industrial land uses onto the property, which aren't currently allowed in the general business zone. You may remember a few months back, we did a similar rezoning for the property that surrounds this site to the east and to the north, changing that zoning as well from general business to light industrial. The proposed light industrial zoning will allow a wider mix of small businesses and land uses that seek these small industrial type businesses. The rezoning meets the goals in the investment category in the comprehensive plan to encourage the growth and diversity of business sectors and support entrepreneurs and small business development. Staff believes that the rezoning is appropriate given the current mix of land uses in the surrounding area, the potential land uses moving forward in the future, the location of the property at the hard corner of the intersection. Changing the zoning on that property will not have any negative impacts to surrounding properties, and therefore staff recommends approval of the rezoning request. The Planning Commission held a public hearing on April 25th, which no one spoke in favor or opposition, and the Planning Commission recommended approval of the rezoning 9-1. And with
Any
that,
questions of Mike?
Yes, sir.
Council? Yes, Councilman.
Under the rezoning section, you talk about, it's in section 404.160. It says, to accommodate industries that produce finished products from semi-finished materials and require little or no outside storage of materials. But in your comments, you said there were a lot of headstones and finished product outside. Do the headstones and the for sale product, if you will, fit under that little or no storage section?
That is a existing condition that has been out there for a number of years, and so staff did not think that this rezoning request would make that any worse than what's already out there now. But yeah, I believe that that is more of a display of merchandise, as you would see with, a car dealership, or previously it was the off-road vehicle place a little bit further east of 40 Highway used to park some of their four-wheelers outside.
So if this were a new use, we would probably say maybe you shouldn't store those outside like that?
If this was a new use moving into the property, we would say that those probably should be screened or put behind the building, yes. However, this is an existing land use,
Sure.
and this rezoning is just bringing it more into compliance with the code.
Okay, makes sense, thanks.
Any other questions from the council? Seeing none, thanks, Mike. The applicant present, like to come up and make any additional comments? If you do, come up and be sworn in.
You sound swear the testimony you're about to give in this case to be the truth, so you got
Yes.
your name and address
Kevin Frisbee.
into the mic
Kevin Frisbee,
and your address.
32804 Murphy School Road, Grand Valley. Thank you.
All right.
Good evening. Hey,
Anything you'd like to add to what staff has already said, or just want to stand for questions?
No, we just, we've been in, we're a family-owned company. We've been here in Blue Springs for 11 years, and we're looking forward to building our business here in Blue Springs for decades to come. And you were addressing the outside display. It's key to us selling monuments, but we currently, if we were to have any inventory or anything, it would be screened out. It would be screened if we decided to do that, but that's not part of our plans right now. So.
Okay, are there any questions from the council to the applicant? Councilman Edmondson?
Not necessarily questioning, but thank you for staying in Blue Springs as long as you have, and it's good to see that you've expanded this business over the years, and I think you have a good product to show off, and you do it well. I like Quorum, so thank you.
Thank you.
Any other comments for the applicant? Okay, thank you. We'll go to the public. Any of the three you out there like to speak in support of? Support of, opposition to, opposition to. Before we close the public hearing, are there any comments from the council before I close this public hearing? Seeing none, we'll close this public hearing. Then we'll go down to introduction and reading of bill number 4979.
I'll introduce Your Honor.
Okay.
First reading of bill number 4979, an ordinance rezoning property from GB PUD General Business Planned Unit Development to LI PUD Light Industrial Planned Unit Development.
Your Honor, move the bill be approved on its first reading and proceed with the second.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Second reading of bill number 4979, an ordinance rezoning property from GB PUD General Business Planned Unit Development to LI PUD Light Industrial Planned Unit Development.
Your Honor, move the bill be approved on second reading and assign the appropriate ordinance
Is there
number.
a second?
Second.
Discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Levesey?
Aye.
Fowler?
Aye.
Erickson?
Aye.
Edmondson?
Aye.
Culpepper?
Aye.
Kaler?
Aye.
Mayor Ross?
Aye.
Carried unanimously, given ordinance number 5112.
Okay, next we have a public hearing on Geyer fence rezoning.
Mayor, the city has one exhibit to enter into the record. City Council information form dated April 26, 2022 with the following attachments. Staff report with attachments, application with attachments, affidavit of publication in the Examiner on April 9, 2022, 185-foot notification map, names and addresses of property owners within 185 feet of the site, copy of letters sent to said property owners, Title IV Land Use Section Blue Springs Code of Ordinances by reference, 2014 Comprehensive Plan by reference, and bill approving the rezoning. This is all we have to offer for the record.
Okay, this is part of our new process. Mike, we didn't do it for you.
No.
Shannon, you need to be sworn in as well as a staff member.
Along with anyone else.
Do I need to come to this microphone, or
No,
is
you can
this-
stand there.
I can stay here?
And I'm not gonna carry it that far.
Okay.
There's a limit.
Your Honor,
Yes.
excuse me, would this be the time that we all, in case we do it later?
Do we all need to be sworn? Does council need to be sworn in too?
No,
Thank God.
but if there are anyone else who's gonna speak at this hearing, they can be sworn in now also.
It's your call if you'd like to do them all at once or just.
Yeah, we'll do them all at once. Anybody gonna be testifying, you wanna stand up and be sworn in? Now's the time. Okay, I guess,
You sound swear the testimony you're about to give in this case will be the truth, so help God.
Do.
I do.
State your name.
staff, we know their
And
address,
then-
903 Main. We're
And
gonna
then
put
do
that
I
down
state my name and address, correct?
right. Home number?
My name is Shayna Kelly, and my address, City Hall, is 903 West Main Street. And I've been sworn in.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, thank you for bearing with us with that. All right, moving along, the next item on our agenda for your consideration tonight is a request for the rezoning for Geyer Fence located at 2501 Northwest Jefferson Street from GB General Business to RC Regional Commercial to allow the building or construction contractor land use. The property includes a 4.82 includes 4.82 acres and is generally located along Northwest Jefferson, a minor collector which runs parallel to Interstate 70. Properties along this corridor are primarily zoned RC Regional Commercial or LI Light Industrial, a more intensive zoning designation. The property was developed in the late 1980s and has been used by Geyer Fence as their main office and contractor storage area since this time. The requested rezoning is supported by a change in the land uses that were allowed within the GB General Business Zoning District since the development was originally approved in 1986 under an older version of the UDC. Most of the land uses that have existed on this site since development in the late 1980s were permitted in the GB General Business Zoning District until the code was amended in the year 2000. After this amendment, building and construction contractor land use was allowed only in RC, Regional Commercial Zoning District, as well as the more intensive zoning districts. Because contractor activities and storage was originally allowed in GB zoning, Geyer Fence has been allowed to exist as a legal non-conforming business. The need for a zoning change came about when a second business on the property, DirecTV, a contractor-type business, applied for a business license and was unable to receive one due to the current zoning requirements that only allow contractor uses in regional commercial or more intensive zoning districts. The property owner requests the rezoning to RC to bring the existing use into compliance with the current UDC zoning requirements and to allow DirecTV to obtain a business license. No physical changes are being proposed on the property at this time. As the property is currently developed and there are no additional site improvements proposed for the site at this time, staff requests that a general development plan be waived for this rezoning request. Staff reviewed the application and finds that all review criteria have been met and allows the existing land use to be brought into compliance with current zoning requirements. Planning Commission heard the case on April 25th, 2022 and recommended approval. Staff recommends approval of the rezoning. And I will stand for any questions.
Was there any questions, Shannon? Councilmember Kaler?
Do I have to get sworn in?
No.
Thank you. Oh, yes. Is this basically for DirecTV?
It is, the applicant, Kelly Geyer, the property owner, approached us for,
Is he here?
I don't see him here tonight. I don't
Well,
know. He was here at the
I'm kind
planning
of
commission.
confused. It seemed like if it's for DirecTV, but they're already in there. Are we getting the cart before the horses here? So can somebody explain why they're already being able to habitat the building without being approved on proper zoning and stuff?
They applied for a business license. They have not been granted one yet.
But yet they can still work out of that?
Not legally, no.
Okay, so it's all right to store all the vehicles there then?
That is,
I'm just
It's
kind of,
not-
I just
that's-
like to have an question answer.
Yeah.
I don't, because I don't
no,
understand.
anything that DirecTV is doing right now is not with a proper business license. So
Okay.
no, they are not in compliance.
Okay, so they're not even supposed to be having vehicles on the property, is that correct?
That's correct.
That's correct.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay,
Can I ask?
Councilmember Matt.
I have kind of a follow-up on that, then, is there a difference between the DirecTV vehicles that are parked there and the Geyer fence maintenance vehicles that are also parked on the site? Are they, because they say Geyer fence on them, are they different than the ones that say DirecTV? They're all not compliant to the current zoning.
No, Geyer Fence is a legal non-conforming land use. It is granted legal non-conforming status because it was
Correct, I'm just trying
originally.
to, and I understand where Councilmember Kaler's coming from, but I'm curious, if we're talking about the trucks themselves, if they said Geyer fence on them, they could be there all over the place, but because they say
Go ahead.
DirecTV, no, right?
We're talking about the land uses
Okay.
in particular.
Okay, gotcha.
The construction contractor land use that Geyer Fence had, or has had on the property for a number of years, which primarily occupies the west portion of the site. The east building has been vacant for a number of years.
Right.
So so whatever was in there as a contractor lost its legal non-conforming status. Whatever's still been occupied by Geyer Fence has maintained that, including their vehicles and their outside storage and all of that. As you remember, there was a previous rezoning request to regional commercial with a conditional use permit to allow auto sales. The conditional use permit failed, and subsequently the rezoning request failed. So, but at the time, the property owner, Mr. Geyer, still wanted, in order for him to continue to do his use in a legal manner and not have it be non-conforming, he would need to rezone to regional commercial. So if his building were to have burned down, he wouldn't have been able to replace it. If he wanted to expand, he wouldn't have been able to expand. So when this new request came in, he decided to request a rezoning, not just for his business, but for this other portion of the business, so that a construction contractor, similar to his own land use of Geyer Fence, could move into that building. This staff became aware of this because DirecTV applied for a business license. We turned down that business license, or we did, well, I don't know if we denied it or we just haven't approved it yet, pending the outcome of tonight's rezoning request. But the fact that they are on property, appear to be operating, they're doing so without a business license. We have a number of those that happen throughout the city. At a certain point, they would then become a code violation, and we would go through that path in our code enforcement process, if this gets denied.
Okay, then I have, my second question is a little bit off the subject, but it's on the subject. On the map that's not on the screen, but the graphic map that shows the gray color, to the right of your pointer, as I'm looking at it, there's that wooded area, the little trapezoidal looking thing to the right of Meyer Music, down right, come down, not that one, that's mine. Right there, that shows on this graphic map that it's light industrial. Is it in fact light industrial?
Is that a?
Next page down.
Oh,
I think
yeah,
that
that's
belongs
right.
to that homeowners association of those
All right.
condominiums. See what I'm saying? That
Yeah,
That's it.
according to our zoning maps, that property is zoned light industrial.
okay, that's off the subject, but thanks for clarifying the other part. Appreciate it.
Okay.
If I may, since the councilman has already gone down this road, on that map, it also shows that GB is still there on the property for Meyer Industries, their parking lot.
Okay.
If you look at this one, that little section right in there next between what we're going to RC is still red, that's not Geyer Fence. I'm assuming that's Meyer's parking lot.
Do you want to look at?
So you have light industry, and then you have a section of of
Yep.
red? Or is
This
that
might
just
just-
an
this
error in
might-
how that's?
This is the property, this is just an error on our map, I apologize.
Okay, I just want to make sure we weren't leaving a pocket of GB when it really should be what we're talking about.
Nope, it
Okay.
shouldn't be, because this border here runs up to about that line
Yep.
right there, and.
I figure since we're nitpicking, I might as well nitpick on that one,
That was
so.
just an error on our perimeter on that zoning map, I apologize.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
No, follow up, please.
Let me see if any of the other three have any nitpicking they need to do. Okay, go ahead.
Are you yielding to District One?
Yielding to you.
Okay.
You got it.
I'm not against the trucks being there. I'm just don't like the process that DirecTV is doing this and the procedure they're going through. They know better. They're a big enough company that there is stipulations and there's procedures to do, and I just want to go on record that companies need to get their act together before they start just doing whatever they think they can do. Sorry.
In other words, if they know better, they should do better.
That's right.
Okay, want to make sure.
Sorry for
Councilmember.
Well, but this property, all of this property is owned by Geyer,
Yes, that's correct.
so it's not DirecTV's land.
It is not their land.
It's the use.
It's the use and them signing a lease or moving into the building without a proper business license.
Right, thank you.
You too? You're good? Okay. And say Geyer's not here tonight.
I do not see him.
Okay, well, we'll go to the public. Anyone in the audience like to speak in support of? Support of, opposition to, opposition to. We're gonna bring it back up here. Any other further comments for the record before I close the public hearing? Seeing here, oh,
Yeah, it bothers me.
We
It kind
have
of bothers me that we
Councilmember
have
Cole.
somebody who wants something done and they don't show up.
I will just add, Your Honor, he was at the planning commission meeting, or a representative from Geyer was at the planning commission meeting.
But he's not here tonight.
No, he's not here tonight. I think the only discussion from planning commission was in regards to the previous application, I believe, Mike, and that was turned down for different reasons than this, so.
Yeah, Mr. Geyer did attend the planning commission meeting. Not sure why he's not here tonight. That could have been an error on staff, or him not realizing that it was tonight, or an error on the fact that he may have thought it was 6:30. Like the planning commission meeting was. It could have been any number of reasons, but Mr. Geyer did personally show up.
Hey, Mike, I think he just walked in.
I'm
we
gonna go
haven't
with
closed
the
the public
6:30.
hearing yet. Is there a Mr. Geyer out there? But you need to be sworn in. Thank God that they brought this back up here before we close this public hearing. Be sworn in.
Yes, I did.
Kelly Geyer. Kelly Geyer, 2224 Northwest Jefferson.
Well, we just want you to stand for any questions this council might have of you.
Okay,
Or did all of them get answered?
I'm good.
Well, they're good. The primary question is why isn't he here? And you showed up just in the nick of time.
I thought the meeting started at 6:30.
They used to.
Well, I'm glad you made the effort to be here tonight.
Thank you.
It indicated you were at the planning commission.
Uh-huh.
Realizing that the planning commission is only a recommending body and this body makes the final decision.
I do
And you
have
showed
a
up.
question since Mr.
Oh,
Geyer.
he does have a question now.
Since you came, and here again, it's a little off the subject, but as you know, we drive up and down that street a bunch. I noticed that there's a most likely non-conforming sign on the western half of Jefferson, the plastic sign that's kind of taking the heat from the wind blowing. Is that going to stay there? You may not even be aware of it. I think it's hiring now, and it's about 15 feet by 8 feet. It's been there for a long time. I was just hoping that maybe, since you
I'm
were
not
here,
aware-
we could get
I'm
that on
not-
the record, that at least one of us might like to see that come into compliance.
I'm not aware of that.
You will be when you go by tomorrow.
It must have just happened just recently.
Yeah, it's been there a long time.
Oh, you mean a sign?
The plastic sign on the fence, on
Well,
your
I'm just
beautiful, on
tired-
your beautiful fence.
I think they're trying to hire some people.
Well, they may be. but
Yeah, that's.
I would sure like to see that sign come into compliance.
Any other questions? Well, thank you for coming. Thank you for your testimony. Do we have any other questions from up here, from the council? Now I'm gonna close this public hearing. Close this public hearing. Who would like to introduce bill number 4980?
I'll introduce, Your Honor.
Okay,
First reading of bill number 4980, an ordinance rezoning property from GB General Business to RC Regional Commercial.
Your Honor, move the bill be approved on its first reading and proceed with the second.
is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Second reading of bill number 4980, an ordinance rezoning property from GB General Business to RC Regional Commercial.
Your Honor, move the bill be approved on the second reading and assign the appropriate ordinance number.
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Councilmember Fowler.
Aye.
Erickson.
Aye.
Edmondson.
Aye.
Culpepper.
Aye.
Kaler.
Aye.
Levacy.
Aye.
Mayor Ross.
Aye.
Carried unanimous, given ordinance number 5113.
Okay, next we have introduction and reading of bill number 4981.
I'll introduce, Your Honor.
Okay,
First reading of bill number 4981, an ordinance approving the final plat for Redwood Homes, Blue Springs, Jackson County, Missouri.
Your Honor, move the bill be approved on its first reading and proceed with the second.
is there a second?
Second.
Discussion?
Yes, sir.
Okay, council member, and then I come back to council member Fowler. Go ahead.
I know this is a final plat. I voted against it at the beginning, and I'll have to do the same, even though I understand that that's not what I'm supposed to do, but I'll have to vote against it because I opposed it at the beginning.
Council
Yes, Your
member?
Honor, basically the same thing. And I remember this was private streets and eight plexes, and I did not support the investment on the first one, so I'll be voting against this as well this evening.
Okay, any other discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Both same sign?
Aye.
Let's roll call it.
All right. Councilmember Erickson.
I oppose. No, I guess.
Edmondson.
No, well,
Aye.
it's opposite. so.
Culpepper.
Aye.
Kaler.
Aye.
Levacy.
Aye.
Fowler.
No.
Mayor Ross.
Aye.
5-2. Second reading of bill number 4981, an ordinance approving the final plat for Redwood Homes, Blue Springs, Jackson County, Missouri.
Your Honor, move the bill be approved on the second reading and assign the appropriate ordinance
Is there
number.
a second?
Second.
Discussion, roll call, please.
Councilmember Edmondson.
Aye.
Culpepper.
Aye.
Kaler.
Aye.
Levacy.
Aye.
Fowler.
No.
Erickson.
No.
Mayor Ross.
Aye.
Carried with a vote of 5-2, given ordinance number 5114.
Next we have visitors. I don't have any visitors appearance form. So I'm gonna go straight to Mural Announcements. And tonight, thoughts to ponder. Okay, tonight's thoughts to ponder comes from me. Compliments are at the expense of Council Member Erickson. And I quote, "When you're having your photos taken, make sure your pockets are not turned out." End quote.
That's my quote.
Anything else to come before the council?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes.
I was just glad we're not taking photos tonight because that probably should have been mentioned before for him. Take care of that.
For some of you that don't get this, talk to me afterwards and I'll explain it to you. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Both same sign. We adjourn. I guess it achieved it.